Hi all, welcome to the training. So this course is on Selenium with Python. We are focusing on the automation testing. And when it comes to automation testing, right, we are focusing on the UI automation only. When it comes to testing, right, you'll be working with different types of applications. Like you'll be part of web application testing, you'll be part of Windows-based testing, you'll be part of mobile testing, and you'll be part of API testing and DB testing. Like you can get a job in any of these testing, but our focus is mostly on to the UI automation. That is a web application automation. Okay. So many people know these points, like what is software testing, what is quality, and what is QC, what is verification and validation, but who are completely new to this field, right? Just I want to give a high level glance of it, and we will start further. Okay. Is my voice clear, screen clear, all good, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So I don't know what was taught to you in the previous batches. Consider it as a fresh start. If you already know, that is well and good. Otherwise, we'll start from first. Okay. Basically, what do you mean by software testing means? See, at the end of the day, you have to develop a software and you have to deliver that particular software to the client. Okay. So company, there are two terms you need to understand. Okay. Before going to this, right, you need to understand some terms like client, vendor, user. Okay. Can anybody tell what are these terms, client, vendor, and user? These are the commonly used terms in the industry. Like once you get a job or in the job, right? I'm working for so and so client. Okay. And this is what they talk, right? Have you heard about these terms, client, vendor, and user?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is a client?
Client is who is giving the requirement.
Client is someone who's giving the requirement. Who is a vendor then?
Who are going to develop that projects?
Application. Projects.
Application.
Okay. Who is the user or customer?
So end user means market, who people use it.
Okay, fine. I'll clarify on this. Basically, these three terms we generally use if you're working in the IT company. One is a client. May know for which client you are working, they'll ask you. Like you can say that I worked for ICICI Bank. Okay, you can say that I worked for ICICI Bank, or you can say that I worked for SBI. Okay, and you can say that I work for Apollo Hospitals. Okay. Or you can say that you have worked for care hospitals, and you can these are the banking side. Or you can say that you have worked for LIC. Okay, LIC or SDFC Life. So this class is very important, basically I'm going to talk about the terminology which is used in the IT industry, and what type of questions they are going to ask in the interview. Like this completely interview oriented only. It's not like I'm talking just like that. This is what I've derived from my experience. Like I have around 14 years of experience in the IT, and I'm working as a test manager, and basically I do corporate trainings, and also teach in some of the institutes, and Quality Torch is one of my old institute where I started my career, so I've committed to them. And see, these are called as banking clients, right? Okay, these are called as banking clients. These are called as hospital or healthcare. Okay, and these are called as insurance clients. Is this point clear? These are called as insurance clients. Fine. Now, clients, what do? They have work. They have work. And once you complete that work, you will be paid for that. Okay. Once you complete the work, they pay money for the work. Is this clear? They pay money for the work. Now, what is a vendor? What is a vendor is something. Vendor is a software company. Vendor is a software company. Okay, a vendor is a software company. What does vendor do? Vendor will develop, and this work is called as the requirement. Okay, the whatever work the company is having, right? This is nothing but other term which is given to it is like requirements. So vendor is going to convert this requirement into application or software code. The purpose of a vendor is to convert requirement to software code. Is this clear? Purpose of a vendor is to convert requirement to software code. You have many companies like TCS is there, Infosys is there, and like Accenture is there, or Wipro is there, and there are many companies are there. Okay, and finally, who is a user? The person who is accessing the application. Okay, the member or a person using the application. Is it clear? These terms you are clear, right? So you should know what is a client, what is a vendor, and what is the user. Is this clear? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Clear. Now, what do you mean by software testing? Is the client is going to give you some requirements. One second, let me stop sharing. Okay, the client is going to give some requirements. Okay, the client is going to give some requirements, and the vendor will develop the requirements, or he's going to convert the requirement into software code, and the user is going to use that particular software. Okay, what do you mean by software testing means? It is a process of checking the software application. Whatever the requirements the client has given, right? Whether the software company has developed the application as per client requirements or not. Okay, why? Because end of the day, the customer will be happy only when you deliver a quality product. Yes or no? For example, you are purchasing a mobile phone. When you will be happy? When the mobile phone is working as per your expectations or not, right? Otherwise, you'll not be happy. Okay. So what do you mean by quality? Well, when do you say that it is a quality product? When all the requirements have been met. Okay. When all the requirements have been met and the application, there are no defects in that particular application, then we say that the project or product is a quality product. Is this clear? So our goal is only on to test the requirements which are given by the client, and these requirements are developed by the software company. Okay, and the main purpose of testing is to achieve quality. When we have to validate all the requirements and ensure that there are no defects in the product. This is your job once you join a company. Are we clear on this? Yes. No.
Yes, sir.
So whenever it comes to software companies, right, it is classified into two types. One is service based. I think I've told them in the first class, but I want to give you a very good notes and start the concepts from beginning. So one is services based, and one is product based. Okay, one is service based, or other one is product based. So what do you mean by service based companies? For example, if there is a particular client, if, for example, if Infosys is working for ICICI Bank, the application which is developed for a single client, okay, for a single customer requirement or a single client, right? Then we call it as a service-based companies, and that application is called as a project. Okay, whereas which is developed across, like there is no particular client for it, then it is called as a product. For example, if you take your Gmail or Windows operating system, right? Windows 7 operating system, there is no particular client for. Nobody has asked Google to develop Gmail. Nobody has asked Google to develop Google Maps. Okay, they have come up with a common problem which is available in the market, and they started providing a solution to that particular problem. Okay, are we good with this point? Software testing, quality, project, and product. Okay, if you want, make a note of it. If you want, you can take a screenshot of it. Okay, I would suggest you to write these points, and we'll go further. Either you can take a screenshot or you can write it. It's up to you. But my suggestion is to make a note of it. Once you are written or taken a screenshot, let me know. I'll go to the next topic.
Sir, can you share this Word document?
This I'll share it later, but not everything I'll share. Only from the base concepts which are given, I'll share, but not the complete notes. Okay, this is the put a lot of effort in preparing it. If you want, you can take a screenshot of it.
Sure.
Whatever is required, I'll share that to you. And everybody go on mute because we are recording the session. Azam, you can go on mute. Once you are done, let me know. I'm coming at the very basic level, like people who are not even from the IT industry also should understand this point. So just I want to know how many are working right now in IT among the 6 people.
Sir, I'm working, sir. I'm working as a business analyst.
Okay, what is your name?
Azam.
Azam. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Bhavya?
Yeah, I'm working in HCL as a software engineer.
You're working as a software engineer. Okay, good. So you are onto development or you're into testing, Bhavya?
Yeah, present I'm working on automation engineer.
Okay, automation with Selenium only or some other tool?
Not Selenium, just CLI.
Okay, fine, no issues. What about
Yeah,
Rajshekhar?
that's why I'm learning Selenium.
What about Rajshekhar?
Sir, I am fresher, sir. Career gap student.
No, okay, no problem. Fresher, I'll treat it as a fresher. Okay. See, end of the day, after completion of course, I'll 100% assure you that you'll get a job. But only thing is, you should be sincere, and you should be putting some effort from your end also. See, this effort, right? I'm sharing my 14 years of experience with you people, and look at the quality, compare it with other institutes, compare with YouTube, and you decide. You'll definitely find a difference. Okay. And what about Nanaji?
Sir, I'm from non-IT, sir.
Non-IT. Okay, fine. And Rajshekhar, you're done. And who else is there?
Vaishnavi.
Vaishnavi, what about you?
I'm new to IT field, sir. I prepare for manual testing.
Okay.
One of my friend is working in manual testing, so by her guidance, I learned manual testing.
Okay,
so double calls in manual testing, so I need to learn more.
Okay.
So that I choose the Selenium with the Python.
Okay. What about Rudra Sai?
I'm working hot HCL, sir.
You're working HCL as a software developer or tester?
Testers, manual test.
So see that's how the combination will be. Either people want to upgrade from manual to automation, or the people want to transform from non-IT to IT, or if they're in automation, they want to go to the next level. Maybe they're targeting a lead level or something. Okay. Are we done with this 4 points?
Yes.
Okay. So if you are developing an application for a single customer, then it is considered a project. But if you are developing for a multiple multiple customers, or there is no customer for it, then it is called as a product. This is the main difference between software project and product. And why should you do testing means, as a tester, you need to ensure that the vendor company is developing the application as per the requirements given by the client. That is your job. Okay. And coming to quality, right? Quality is classified into 2 types. One is quality assurance, and other one is quality control. Okay. See, generally, as a tester in a company, right, you'll be working on quality control only, not on the quality assurance part. Quality assurance is something which is taken care by the lead or the manager in the company. So what do you mean by quality assurance means? It is a process of validating the application. That means you will be checking the application, or you will be testing the application. What is a reference point for you? Okay. Based on the requirements only, the client will give you the requirements, and you will be checking the application, whether the application is been built as per the requirements or not. And you will certify, or you will say whether it is a right product or a wrong product. Okay. Imagine like you are writing an exam. Okay. You are writing an exam. The person who is going to correct your paper, right? what he's going to do, he's going to compare the question, he's going to read the question, and he's going to read your answer. So if you are writing the answer according to the question, he is going to pass. Yes or no? And if you are not writing the answer relevant to the question, then he is going to fail, right? He is nothing but the examiner who is correcting your paper. So your job is like an examiner. What you will do, you will validate the application. Okay, you are going to validate the application according to what? What is the reference for you to validate? The reference for you is the requirements document, and you are going to say whether it is right or not. Okay, what do you mean by assurance? Assurance is nothing but it is a process of verifying all the standards and process of the company for giving the right product to the customer. Okay, they are going to verify whether you are building the product according to the process or not. For example, you have the invigilator also in your exam, right? So what the invigilator is going to do? He is not going to check whether you are going to write a proper answer to the question or not. He is going to check whether you entered the examination hall on time. Okay, whether you entered the examination hall on time, whether you are the valid person. He's going to verify your hall ticket, whether the correct person is writing the exam or not. Okay, and you have to write the exam in the given time, and whether you are not cheating. These things is going to do it, right? That is a role of a quality assurance. So in big organization, there is a separate team for quality assurance, and there is a separate team for quality control. In small organization, generally the senior people will be taking care of the quality assurance, like a test lead or a test manager will be taking out the quality assurance part, and the test engineer will be working on the quality control. See, don't get confused with these terms. Quality assurance is nothing but verification. Okay, quality assurance is nothing but verification, and quality control is nothing but validation. So what do you mean by validation? You are doing the actual testing, right? You are doing the actual testing to ensure that the application is working as per the requirement or not. What do you mean by verification? You are testing the process, whether they are followed, whether the product is tested as per the guidelines or not, whether you have written all the test cases or not, whether all the automation test cases have been passed or not. That is called as verification. These terms are used interchangeably in the interview also. When you go, right, they'll ask you what is the difference between QC and QA, or they'll ask you what's the difference between verification and validation. Is this clear what I'm talking? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Sir, quality assurance and verification, you said both are same, right?
Yes. Quality assurance, QA and verification are both the same.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned both different points.
Once again, let me quality control or validation. Focusing is on process. Okay, we'll verify the process for delivering the right product to the customer or not. So focus is on process. Here also same, verifying the standards and process of the company. Focus is on the approach or the process which you are following in that organization. How the testing is done, what are the tools you are using, how many test cases you have. That is nothing but quality assurance. Okay, quality control is nothing but you are validating the application. Okay, whether it is developed as per the customer requirements or not. That is what it says, that you are doing the actual testing. Okay, you are doing the actual testing of that particular application. It's different, right? It's not same. Means the meaning is same. Quality assurance and verification, the meaning is same. Or let me put it here.
Yeah.
So these terms are commonly used in the IT field, like what is a client, what is a vendor, and what is a user. Client is the one who's going to give you the business to you. Okay, they will give you the work. Once you complete that work, you will get the money. Okay, and how that business, how they are going to communicate, this is nothing but your requirements. For example, ICICI Bank is there. ICICI Bank, what they will do is they want to reduce their staff and they want to make more staff operations online. Like earlier, we used to go to the bank to withdraw money or deposit money, right? Now the same thing can be done with an ATM, right? You can go to the ATM and you can withdraw money, and also we can deposit money also. Okay, you can do check deposit, right? So they have a requirement, they have a problem, and if you are providing a solution to that problem, you are called as a vendor. Okay, and basically the client is speaking to the vendor in terms of requirements. Okay, and these requirements are high level. Generally the BA is going to interact with the client and capture the requirements, and the product owner is going to convert the requirement into low level requirements. We'll come to that later. Okay, so you need to know what is a client, what is a vendor, what is a user, what do you mean by testing, and why should you do testing. Testing is done because to enhance, to ensure that all the requirements have been, to ensure that the vendor has developed the application according to the requirements given by the customer. So most of the sometimes you will be also at the client role also. These are more powerful job. Sometimes what you do is, for example, if you are working in ICICI Bank and the IT department, right, your job is more powerful than a developer in an IT company. Why? Because you are going to validate his work, right? And once you approve, then only they are going to pay money to the vendor. So if you are getting a job at the client's location, then your role is very, very powerful role. Okay, try to target, try to achieve it, keep it as a goal for you. Okay, you should not work at this level. Okay, you should not work at TCS, Infosys, or Accenture or Wipro. You should work as at the client level, like an IT company. In ICICI Bank, you should be at the IT department, or in SBI, you should be at the IT department, or in Care Hospital, you should be at the IT department, or in LIC or SDFC Life, you should be the IT department. So in that case, what you are doing, you are at the client side, you are validating the whether the vendor is developing the application as per the requirements given by the customer or the client. Sorry, don't use this word customer. Customer is nothing but a user. Use only the word called as client. So we are clear with these 4 points, right? Okay, what is a client? What is a vendor? What is a user? Well, what is software testing? What is quality, project, and product? And what is QA and QC? Okay, these terms are used very commonly. Quality assurance is nothing but verification. Quality control is nothing but validation. Clear? Oh. Now this is the basics for us. This slide I'll share. Okay, this slide I'm going to share with you. Okay, don't worry about this. Okay, so our course is Selenium with Python, right? So agenda is I don't want to start directly Selenium with Python and show you the some application. I want to get the prerequisite for you. Okay, I want to get the prerequisite for you, and then we'll start our actual course. Okay, now client has given the requirements to you, right? And as a vendor company, you started converting the requirements into software code. Yes or no? Then how it is done? It cannot be done in a one step, right? There should be some process followed in order to convert the requirement into the workable code. Yes or no? That process is called as SDLC. SDLC stands for Software Development Lifecycle. Is it clear? Converting a requirement into a working code is nothing but the job of a vendor. In order to perform that job, you are going to follow one process. This process is called as SDLC, Software Development Lifecycle. Okay. So coming to software development lifecycle models, right? There are many models which are available in the market. Like many models are there, like Waterfall model, rapid application development model, spiral model, a V model, incremental model, agile model, iterative model, and Bing Bang. Many models are there. So each company will follow the models as per their organization standards, okay, or as per the client's requirement, they are going to follow. Okay, and if you are from engineering background, or if you are from computer science or IT background, right, you have a subject called as software engineering, where they are going to discuss about the software development lifecycle models. Okay, so among all these models, okay, like waterfall model or RAD model, spiral, V, incremental, agile, and iterative, and Bing Bang, right? These are all models are part of your manual testing course. Okay. I'm not going to cover these models as part of the automation testing, but I'm going to cover only two models. One is the waterfall model, and other one is the agile model, because these are the commonly used models across the organizations. Out of 100 companies, 95% of the companies either work in agile or in the waterfall model. Now, out of 190, 95, 94 are working on agile model only. 1 or 2 are working on waterfall model, and rapid application model, spiral model. These are used by some organizations. For example, what do you mean by rapid application development model? Means you'll see customer himself don't know what type of software he want to develop it. Then you go for this rapid. You develop a prototype and give it to you. Okay, there is something called a spiral model, incremental model. These are done by the R&D department, research organizations like DRDO, DRDL, right? They want to invent something, so they do it in a spiral or incremental model. Okay, so what is waterfall model is, this is generally what waterfall model consists of. And here I am writing analysis, requirement specification. It can happen either way also. You can get requirements first, and then you do the analysis, and then you do the design, then you do the development, and then you do the testing. You can make a note of these models because the first question they ask you in the interviews, what is the SDLC model you have followed in your organization, or what is the SDLC model you have worked on, they'll ask you. Okay, why this model is used? In order to convert a requirement into a working code. You can make a note of this or take a screenshot. We'll go to the next step. Once done, let me know. So are you aware, people who are working in the IT, right, like Azam or Bhavya, are you aware of these models? Have you heard these terms? Waterfall, RAID, agile model? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Agile model I have heard.
You have heard, right? Okay. Any other one know these models? Have you used any of these models for developing the application or for developing the software? So first we'll see waterfall. Waterfall because it's the first model which IT companies have started using it, and other models are derived from waterfall model only. Okay, that is the reason why we'll focus on waterfall model, and then we'll see other models. So waterfall model consists of 6 stages. Okay, like analysis phase, and the initially to start with the requirement phase, then you have the analysis phase, design phase, development phase, integration, testing and integration, and implementation of deployment. I'll explain each and every point in detail. This is not required. Take down this. Okay, make a note of this particular diagram. What do you mean by waterfall model from the testing perspective, not from the development perspective, from the testing perspective. So as I told you, there are 6 phases. One is called as the initialization phase. The second one is called as analysis phase. The third one is a design, coding, testing, delivery, and maintenance. Okay, every phase they are going to perform some operations. Okay, just make a note of this diagram, then I'll explain you each and everything in detail, because you have to talk about this when you go to the interview. Okay, so there are 6 phases. Make a note of it. So my voice is audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So okay, let me talk and then you can make a note of it. Initialization phase means what? Customer, sorry, not customer, sorry. I generally use the word customer because I'm talking to the customer. So basically, client is going to, in the initialization phase, there are some meetings between the client and the vendor company. Okay, and a BA, here the main role is done by the BA. Okay, BA or the engagement manager. Any idea what is an engagement manager? Yes.
Business analyst will gather
BA
the.
is different. Okay, let me open the word. Okay, so if you look at this diagram, what is a task done in the initialization phase? Let's say I'm in the initial phase. What is a task done in the initial phase? What operations you are going to perform?
Gather requirements.
Gather requirements, right? That means you are going to interact with the client. Okay, what is a task you are going to perform means you are going to interact with the client. And gather requirements. And gathering requirements. Okay, and gathering requirements. Okay, who is going to do this task? Who is going to do this task?
BA.
Who is going to do is the business analyst. There's also one more person called engagement manager. And anybody has heard this term, engagement manager or on-site coordinator? Okay, anybody heard these terms, engagement manager or on-site coordinator? Okay, so engagement manager is the one who's sitting in the client's office. Okay, he sits near the client. Okay, he interacts with the vendor companies. Okay, generally what BA will do is like business analyst will take an appointment from the customer, and he's going to visit the customer with a template. He'll not visit just like that. Okay, he goes to the customer with a template. He'll meet the customer, and he gives the template to the customer. Don't confuse here. Customer is nothing but the client. Okay, and what he's going to do is he's going to interact with him. He's going to interview him. He's going to question him like what he's looking at, and he captures the requirements in a high level document. Okay, the main purpose of a BA is to meet the customer or client, meet the client. Okay, take an appointment and meet a client. So you need to take an appointment. Okay, meet the client with a template. Generally, he'll meet a client with a template. He'll not go just like that. Okay, and he gathers the requirements with the help of in the template. In the template. Okay, he'll gather requirements in the template, and he prepares a requirements document. Okay, and generally he prepares a requirements document. Okay, is this clear? These are the roles of a BA in a company. This is what he does. Now, what does engagement manager do? Okay, see, during the initial meeting, right, during the bidding of a project, client will only give a high level requirement, and engagement manager is going to give the cost for this requirement. This would be my cost. But when the BA meets the client, right, he may give more requirements or extra requirements. Okay, then he's going to hunt. He's going to analyze the requirements, and he's going to check for he's going to hunt for extra requirements, because extra requirements means extra money, right? Yes or no? See, while bidding the project, you said something. For example, you went to purchase a TV. Okay, initially you are planning to buy a 55 inches TV, and after going to the shop, you decided that you want to buy a 65 inches TV. Then your cost will increase or not? Yes or no? So
Yes.
the engagement manager will hunt for extra requirements, and he will come with the cost, and he'll come with the cost for it. He's the one who generally sitting at the on-site. Okay, and he's also going to check for any ambiguous requirements. So the requirements which are not at all possible to implement, or confusing requirements. Ambiguous requirements means, for example, one student has come to me and said that I said that I want to learn Selenium in 2 days only. I have only 2 days of time. On Saturday and Sunday I have to learn, because Monday I'm joining an organization. I need to start working, and can you teach me in 2 days? I said, no, it is not possible. So anything which is ambiguous requirement, which is not clear or which is not achievable, right? Whatever is not achievable, we should not commit to the client. Okay, identify ambiguous requirements. Okay, his job is to identify ambiguous requirements and say that, sorry, it is not possible. We cannot do this within the given budget and time. And before only you have to tell. Okay, and also give a demo. give a demo or a prototype. Okay, give a demo or prototype. See that customer, the onset, let's say Infosys, right? Infosys is interacting with ICICI Bank, right? They would have already developed applications for SBI or SDFC, right? They can give a demo or a prototype of the previous customers, or based on the current requirement also, they can develop it. Okay, is it clear? So this is what the job of an engagement manager in the company. Okay, what is the output of this phase? So the BA and the engagement manager are going to interact with the client, and the output of this document is called as business requirement specification document. Okay, the document which they develop, the work which is done, right, it is documented, and this document is called as business requirement specification document, and it is also called as BRS. Short form is BRS. Output is BRS. Okay, business requirement specification document. Other name is FRS, functional requirement specification document. Okay, other name is URS, user requirement specification document. Other name is CRS, customer requirement specification document. Okay, other name is CRS. Other name is BDD, business design document. Okay, other name is BD, business document. Don't confuse. Each company will use a name. Okay, don't confuse when you join an IT company, right? So first thing which happens is they are going to interact with the customer, and they are going to develop one document. This document is called as business requirements document. Is it clear what I'm talking? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the next phase is the analysis phase. Okay, the next phase is the analysis phase. Okay. The output, what operations they are going to do is they are going to do something called the system design. Okay, and the output is the system requirement specification document is the output. There's a difference between FRS and SRS. FRS is the interactions between the customer and the BA. Only they are going to talk about the business. And SRS talks about how it has to be implemented in the software. There is a difference. So analysis, you want to make a note of this? Yes, no? Did you make a note of this diagram?
Yes, sir.
Everybody, or you can take a
Yes.
screenshot of this. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you make a note of this initialize phase?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And about this? Business analyst take an appointment, meet the client with a template, gather requirements in the template, and he will prepare one document which is called as a requirements document. Are we good?
Yes.
Okay. You can take a screenshot also if you think it, but later you have to write it with your own hand. Then only you'll remember. Okay. And what does engagement manager will do or on-site coordinator will do? He'll hunt for extra requirements, and he'll also hunt for ambiguity. Okay. And he'll try to give a demo to win the confidence. Okay. This is what we have already developed to previous projects. This is what we have implemented it. And based on the customer require also sample, he'll come up with some demo. And they generally develop demo in one tool called as wireframes. Any idea what are wireframes? Anybody know what is a wireframe?
No, sir.
You do some analysis on this and come tomorrow and tell me. Mostly they'll develop the demo in wireframes. Okay. The output, did you make a note of this?
Yes.
The other names given to the FRS document is user requirement specification or customer requirement specification or business design document and the business document. Clear, right? The first phase, what happens? Initialization phase. Okay. Next is the analysis phase. Analysis phase, generally what you are going to do, you are going to convert the BRS document into the SRS document. That means customer requirement document is converted into the system design. So what is going to happen in the analysis phase is, okay, what is going to happen in the analysis phase means, now BA went to the customer, right? He brought all the requirements and given it to the project manager, right? He will say, I've interacted with the customer, I've interacted with the client and these are his requirements, and he will go and give it to the company's project manager. Okay. Generally, who is involved in the analysis phase? Who is involved means project manager, okay, or system analyst also is involved. Who is involved is product manager and system analyst. You see these jobs in the market, right? We are looking for a project manager. Yes or no?
Yes.
The main role of a project manager is to analyze the business requirements and develop the system requirements document. Okay. What task they are going to perform? Okay. What task they are going to perform is they are going to do a feasibility study. Customer I can ask anything, right? He'll also ask like I want people like what, let's say my transaction should be very fast, like Amazon, like that's how Amazon has conquered the e-commerce market. The user experience which you have in Amazon, right, may not be the same with other e-commerce sites, right? The discount they give or the delivery they give, right? Yes or no? Agree?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so the first thing, feasibility study, what they are going to do is once they have the requirement, they are going to check whether it is feasible. Product manager is going to check whether it is feasible to achieve requirements in given time and budget. First thing is going to do is, okay. The first thing is going to do is the feasibility study. Second thing, what is going to do is the tentative planning. Tentative planning means what? What is the start date? Okay. What is the start date? Date, end date. Okay. And he's going to do technology. What technology I need to use? Okay. It is a job of the product manager to ensure that the vendor company makes some profit. End of the day, after working, right, if you're not making any profit, what is the use? Yes or no? Okay. And technology, like what software, what hardware is required. Okay. And they're also going to prepare one system. The output is they're going to prepare one document, and this document is called as system requirement specification, which only technical people can understand. Technical people or the programmers, developers, testers can understand. Okay. They come up with a document called as system requirements specification document. Okay. Is this clear? This is what happens in the analysis phase. Okay. Can you make a note of these points? It's going to do tentative planning. technology, and these three things he is going to focus. By the requirements which are given by BA, right? He will decide what should be the start date and end date, how many resources are required, what technology they are going to use, and the output is the. So, are we good on this? Yes or no? Can we go to the next one? So are we clear what is analysis? What will be done in analysis phase? Then you have the design phase. Okay, then you have the design phase. Design is divided into two types. One is called HLD, or high level design. Other one is called LLD, low level design. Who will do high level design?
Architect.
Correct. Architect will do the high level design. In order to implement these things, right? The architect or system architect will do the high level design, and the low level design is done by team lead. Okay, what they are going to do is they are going to convert the system requirement specification document into some diagrams so that it is easy to understand. Okay, for this purpose, they will use one language called as UML, Unified Modeling Language is used, which contains sequence diagrams. Okay, class diagram, flow charts. So this is not our job. We are not going to focus much on this. The only thing you should understand who is going to do what they are going to do in this particular phase. Okay, they are going to convert the SRS into high level design document and the low level design document. Okay, architect will do high level and the tester team lead will do the low level. Okay, then the coding phase will come into picture. Okay, by looking at the document, developer will convert. We are good, right, on the design phase? Are we good on the design phase?
Sir, full form of
Yes.
UML?
Unified Modeling Language. This is a separate language you have actually. UML diagram for e-commerce. Let me type for online shop. See, let's say the customer is coming with some requirement called as online shopping. They want to design one shopping site. Maybe this is not clear. Like this, they are going to come with some design. Okay, they're going to come with some design. Let me check some good diagram for you. No diagrams. Huh? See, like they are going to design it actually. See, we're using the sequence diagrams, class diagrams, right? They are going to design it. Maybe there's no diagram. I'll try to get some diagram for you. Let me. See, it's a bit blur. If you look at your online shopping, right? Architect is going to design, like for example, what are the actions or operations which are going to perform on online shopping? They are going to make purchases. Okay, they are going to search for an item and view the item, right? They are going to do checkout, and finally, client or the user. See, you don't get confused with the terms client or the customer. So, some companies will use client, some companies will use customer. I'm saying a user. User has to register into like just like our Amazon site, right? Either it is how it is the symbol is there, right? This is called as arrow mark. Is it possible to copy? Let me check. No, cannot copy. Okay, so they are going to do these things. See, like this, they are going to design. This is not our job. Like once I'll tell you what role of a tester here is. Like this, they are going to design one so that it see rather than requirements document, right? Converting the document into some image, right? It is more easy to understand, right? So that's the reason why they are going to use a UML as a language for doing this. Okay.
Okay.
Next comes the coding phase. What you are going to do in the coding phase? You are going to convert this low-level design into some source code. Okay. Who is going to involve here is developers. Okay. Who is going to get involved here is developers are going to get involved. And what is the task they are going to perform? They are going to develop the source code. Source code from low level design or high level design. Generally, they do from the low level design. Okay. Now comes the main phase, which we have to focus on. Now comes the testing phase. Okay. So this is what they are going to do. Developer is also going to do unit testing and integration testing. These are different levels of testing we have, right? What are different levels of testing? Unit testing, integration testing, module, system testing, and UAT. If you are part of the manual testing course, right, you will be learning these things. Okay, people who are new, I'll tell you. What is unit testing? Yes, what is unit testing? Any idea?
We need to check each and every features of the application.
Okay, that is
The main features we can test.
Okay, then what is integration?
Integration means two dependent modules in between we can test.
Okay. And what is module testing?
Sorry?
Module testing.
Modules.
See, this is a very important question. If you're not able to answer this question properly in the interview, right, they'll ask you like, what are the different levels of testing you have been involved and for which testing you have implemented automation, they'll ask. If you're not able to answer this question properly, right, 99% they'll not select you in the interview. Okay. So you need to understand what do you mean by unit testing. For example, look at this online shopping business itself. Okay. There are two modules here. Okay. One is view items is one module and checkout is another module. Do you agree or not? View items is one module and checkout is another module.
Yes.
Similarly, make purchases is one module and client registration is one module. Okay. Whenever you are looking on view items, okay, whenever you're looking on view item screen, I'm talking about levels of testing. Example I'm talking is online shopping. I'm taking as an example. Okay. View items. Okay. So in view items module, this is a module which is developed by the developer. Okay. So these items are classified into multiple types: food, clothes, electronics. Okay. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
And again in clothes, they are going to classify into men, women, kids. Yes or no? Okay. And again, if you go to men, it will be classified into formal, casual. Yes or no? Agree or disagree?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Again in formal, it can be shirt, or pant. Here, what is the smallest unit? What is the smallest unit? Okay, again, the shed can be classified into based on colors and sizes. This is the maximum smallest unit, right? This could be the smallest unit of code. Yes or no? And again, sizes is classified into different sizes, right? XL or L, small, medium, XL. That means in order to work on e-commerce, developers should write some code, a get shed. He want to search for a shed, right? He will write a method called as get shed, and he'll pass the brand name, color, size. He has to write some code or not. Then only you can see that shed, right? Agree or disagree?
Here. So the lowest level.
Yeah. Testing this is called as a function. Okay, this is called as a function. Testing a function by the developer is called as unit testing. Okay. Okay. Testing this function by the developer is called as unit testing. So this is my Amazon site, like that. Fresh is one module, today's deals is one module. Okay, bestseller is one module, mobiles is one module, new releases is one, like this. Okay, so one thing you need to understand is there should be integration across your, once you make a purchase, right, that item should be removed from the stock and it should be sent to the customer. Yes or no? You have to remove that item from the from your warehouse and you need to send it to the customer. Do you agree? Okay. That means there should be some integrations between the warehouse and the orders which you are taking. So testing that integration, like for initially in warehouse, I have 10 items. Okay, customer has purchased 2 items. How many are remaining? 8 are remaining, right? That sync should happen between orders and customer, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
See, you are going to a movie, you are going to book a ticket. So initially total strength is 100 tickets. You have purchased 5 tickets. Now when other person logs in, right, how many tickets it should show? Should it show 5 or should it show 95 or 100? Total tickets remaining. It should show 95, right?
9.
That means there should be some sync between the 2 systems. The testing these 2 systems by performing operations is called as integration testing. Even this developer is going to take care. Now, what you are going to do? Then what is system testing? What is module testing? Module testing is nothing but testing this module as a whole. For example, if you look at this is one module. This module contains, your account is one module. It contains your orders, login, Prime, Amazon balance, payment of testing, all together is one module. Okay, and whenever you are making a shopping, and the interactions between the warehouse and orders is nothing but integration testing. Testing completely a module is your account is modules, and these are the functionalities in that particular module. Agree? And if you look, electronics is a module which contains sub-modules like laptop, headphones, watches, cameras. Agree? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
So module testing means testing that particular module which contains sub-modules. What do you mean by system testing? Testing Amazon application as a whole on Windows operating system in Chrome browser is system testing. Or testing Amazon application on mobile is system testing. Testing it on IE browser, testing it on Firefox browser is system testing. What is user acceptance testing? Yes. What is your user acceptance testing?
Client will check the
Right.
application, their requirements or not.
Yes. So initially we started the class saying that there are three main people. One is client, vendor, and the end user. I'll write it as end user. The best term to use is end user. Okay. See, in case of Amazon, right? Amazon is only developing the application. Okay. But let's say if you are taking ICICI Bank, right? Infosys is developing an application for ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank will have their IT department, right? They are going to perform UAT testing. Whether they have, see, if you are in this role, customer role, right? If you are at the vendor, if you are at the client side, if you are working as a test manager or a test engineer at the client side, right? Then you will be in a very good position and you will be enjoying. You will be your role is very critical. Okay, so let's take a scenario. ICICI Bank has given a contract to the Infosys, and Infosys has implemented. So in UAT testing, what happens is all these things are done by Infosys only, like unit testing, integration testing, module testing, and system. If ICICI Banking is doing the testing, in order to accept that particular software, then it is called as user acceptance testing. Is it clear what I'm talking?
Yes.
Now we have to come to our actual job, which is testing. After I talked to you about the basics, right? Then learning Selenium is not at all a challenge. It is very easy. You need to understand why should you learn Selenium, right? Then it will make a job easy. First thing they ask you in interview, what are your roles and responsibilities as a tester in the organization? This is the first question. Then what you will say? What are the roles and responsibilities of a tester in an organization?
Analyzing the requirements and writing test cases, executing them.
Right, test cases. Very good.
Writing test cases and executing the test cases.
Okay.
We get any defect, we can raise the defect through Jira tool.
Log defects.
Log defects through Jira.
Any tool, any test management tool.
Okay. Bugzilla.
Any tool. And what else you do?
Execution reports. How many defects we can log and fix the defects. Means reports, execution reports. Any new member is joined, we can do KT, give KT to them.
See, this is your job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attending Scrum calls weekly, daily. Scrum calls.
That will come. That will come. Meetings that will come later. I'm only asking on the task. Okay. So the first thing, once you join as a tester in an organization, right, irrespective of manual or automation, forget about manual or automation. So first of all, what you need to do is you have to analyze the requirements. Analyze the requirements means what? First of all, you need to receive the requirements, right? Okay. When you first thing, what happens is testing team will receive requirements document. Who will give this requirements document? FRS or BRS. BA will give. Testing team don't need SRS. Development team only needs SRS. Look at this diagram. Testing team can start writing test cases with BRS only. They need not wait for SRS or a technical design document or high level design and low level design. They directly start with the BRS itself. Okay, first thing what they need to do is they need to receive this document. This is generally maintained in Confluence page. Any idea what is Confluence page or user story? We'll come to these points later. Okay. Once you receive this document, what you need to do? You need to understand, right? Start understanding the document. Okay. You need to start understanding the document. While understanding a document, you will get some doubts or not. Yes or no?
Yes.
Everything
Yes.
will be clear, huh? No, right? While understanding, if any doubts, okay, while understanding if any doubts, then you have to raise it to the BA. To BA. So generally, BA is with senior people in the organization only who are interacting with the customer. You cannot directly ping him and call him and say that I have a doubt, can you explain? You are going to log this in one document which is called as requirement clarification note. Okay. You are going to log, and then later you will set up a meeting with him and you will clarify all your doubts. Okay. Once you get the clarity, right? Once you get the clarity, all clarifications are given by BA. Then what you are going to do is you will start writing test scenarios first, not directly test cases. Start writing test scenarios. Yes or no?
Yes.
Some
Correct.
companies will write test scenarios, some companies will not. Why? Because these test scenarios are generally used by the BAs to certify the bill. Okay. Then you start writing the test cases. That means test scenarios, test cases are developed from test scenarios. Okay. So then what happens is you have to test the application, right? This testing an application is called, the application which you are testing is generally called as a build. Okay. Once build is released to testing team, and this word is called as QA environment. Once build is released to testing team, this build is called, this generally it is called application is called because it's not given to the client, right? Okay, this is generally called as build 1, build 2, build 3. Okay, this is nothing but your software application which you are testing. Once the application is deployed, or once the build is deployed, they use a term called as deploy. Okay, is released. This releasing is nothing but deployed. This is the terminology which they generally use. Once a software application is released, that means normal person will say like this: once software application is released to a testing team. Technical person or person who is working in the IT company will say once build is deployed to QA environment. This is the difference. The way you talk, right? This is the difference. So what are your roles and responsibilities? Once build is deployed into the QA environment, I start executing my test cases. Okay. To testing team, that is the QA environment. Okay. Once it is build is deployed to the QA environment, then to testing team, they will execute test cases. Yes or no? They will execute test cases. During execution, if any defects are found, during execution, if any defects are found, somebody's coming. During execution, if any defects are found, then what you are going to do? Okay, if any defects are found, then what you are going to do? You are going to list all the documents, or you are going to log the defects in defect management tool. Okay, you are going to log the defects in defect management tool. This can be Jira or ALM, application lifecycle management, QCALM, or it can be Qtest, any tool which company is using. Okay, and once you log a defect, it may be accepted or rejected, right? Every defect will not be accepted. What is a defect? If the application is not behaving as per the requirement created by the BA, then you log it as a defect. Okay, and you have a discussion with development team.
Develop.
This meeting is called as triage call. Triage call, where we are going to discuss on the defects. Okay, if developer accepts it, okay, if developer accepts it, then they are going to fix the defects. Then fix them and then they are going to deploy new build to testing team with the fixed defect. Yes or no? Again, what testing team will do? They will execute all the test cases. All test cases on new build. Okay. If any bugs are, this is a cycle, this is a loop. If any bugs are found, again they will report. If any bugs are found, again they will report. This process continues till all defects are closed. Okay, and application is defect free. Is it clear? This is what your job in the IT company. You want to make a note of this, or it's okay? So these are the steps which are performed by the tester in a IT company. So first point is testing team should receive a requirement document. Generally, it is done in a conference page or user story, which is in Jira. Okay, next is understanding requirement. Next is, while understanding the requirements, if there are any doubts, then they need to clarify with the BA. Once all the clarifications are done, they write the test scenarios, and then they write the test cases from the test scenarios. And once build is deployed, they execute the test cases. During execution, if any defects are found, then they log defects. They discuss the defects in a call called as triage call. If developer access them, he's going to fix it and they're going to release a new thing. And execution will continue. They'll execute on the new build. This process will continue until the application is defect free. So this is the job of a developer. Sorry, this is the job of a tester in a company. You want to make a note of this? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Make
Yes, sir.
Can you just hold? Can you scroll down, sir? I'll take the print screen.
Understanding, right? What I'm talking? Is it clear? Are you getting that confidence on the process? I'm trying to
Yes,
explain the process so that any organization, any tool, you will survive. Nobody will teach all these things. I don't need to teach all these things. I can directly start automation testing and go to WebDriver and start it. But I want to explain you the process so that it is easy for you to get a job. So what we have seen is like a customer, or you can call it as a client. Client has some work. He need to automate something, or he need to he has a requirement with him. He's going to give it to the vendor company, and the vendor company is going to develop the requirement into a working code using one of the models like Waterfall model or RAD model or Agile model. And one of the old models is Waterfall model, which contains multiple phases, like the requirement phase. What happens in the requirement phase is the BA is going to interact with the customer, and he's going to get the requirements from the customer, and he's going to prepare one document called as business requirement specification document. It is also called as FRS or SRS. And engagement manager is going to hunt for extra requirements, and he is going to develop a prototype and give it to him. And then analysis is going to take place. Okay, like feasibility study, whether it is possible to implement this particular requirement in the given time and budget or not. Okay, and then they are going to do some tool selection. Okay, and also tentative planning, like what is the start date and end date of the project, and what tools we require, how many resource hardware systems we require, and software we require. All these things are going to analyze. Then they are going to design. Design is classified into two types: high level design and the low level design. High level design is done by the architect, and low level design is done by the team lead. Okay, and they develop the design using one language called as the UML. And then the coding phase starts, where they are going to convert the low level design into the code. Okay, who is going to do? Developer is going to do it. Then the testing phase will come into picture. What testing team will do? They'll analyze once they receive the requirement, they'll start understanding the requirements. If there are any clarifications, they'll interact with the BA. And once all the clarifications are cleared, they start writing the test scenarios. Then they start writing the test cases. And once the build is deployed, they are going to execute the test cases. If there are any defects found, they are going to log the defects in test management tool like Jira or QC. This is what you need to say. What are your roles as a responsible tester in an organization? This is what you say. And this process keeps on continuing until the application is defect free and the sprint is completed. Are we good on this? Finally, you have the deliver and maintenance, where you are going to, after the user acceptance testing is completed, you are going to hand over the application to the client, and client will start using it. You are going to deploy one deployment engineer and a maintenance engineer. Wherever there are some issues, they are going to take care of the application. Are we clear on this?
Yes, sir.